Hello and welcome back to another fully operational Star Wars Armada Wave 1 unboxing. I'm joined again by Nick from the NoDisintegrations podcast, and this time we are unboxing the...
Today we're looking at the Assault Frigate Mark II expansion pack for the Rebel Alliance.
Absolutely, and what an awesome box it is.
It is. I mean, it's in terms of display quality, I'm going to give them a 10 out of 10, as with all the Fantasy Flight stuff that we've seen for Armada, as well as X-Wing. In terms of effectiveness as a box, once you take the packaging out, not so great. I mean, it's got a great big hole in the front and the back.
Will lose things that you put in that.
You don't want to use this as a box. I mean, the main sort of thing you want from a box is to keep things inside. So in that respect, not so great. But
the artwork's amazing. I love the artwork.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really nice. Yeah, but we'll pull this thing open and have a look at what we're going to be dealing with. So I have used this in play a couple of times now. And on the battlefield, I really love this ship. It's got it out there. It's really great in the field. I'm still on the fence as whether or not I actually like the look of it. It's a great big egg with wings sticking off the back, as you can see. I do like it, and it is growing on me. I mean, I'm definitely going to be using it quite a lot in my fleet moving forwards. So
I like how the base goes on the side. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, so that's one thing we see, because it's got these little all these pods hanging down from the middle of it. It's got a nice little curve in the stand, so that the ship itself still sits in the middle of the base. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Whereas with your other ships, it just usually comes straight down, and as you can see, nice little curve
cool.
there. Props it up nicely. Okay, so we'll put that there, and have a look at the rest of everything that we got in the box. As usual, all the command dials. Oh, we drop one on the floor there. Where's it gone?
There it is. 3 command dials.
3 command dials. It's a 3-command ship. So the first time we've seen one of those for the Rebels. There's a few firsts in this pack for the Rebel Alliance and for the game as a whole as well. So we'll have a look at the 2 variants we've got. We've got the Mark II A and the Mark II B. So there's a few differences. The first one we're looking at is the A here, which has 3 command, 2 squadrons, 4 engineering, decent shields all around, and it's pretty heavy on the attack dice as well. What I like is that it's got two squadron attacks, which make it fairly effective. 4 engineering, which is really strong for when you hit those repairs. You can do 2 shields in one go. But then the attack dice, the most of the attacks you're going to be seeing are out of the sides of the ship.
Yep.
It's got really wide firing arcs on the side as well, as you can see from the base. So it's the sort of thing, say if the card here is another ship, it's the sort of thing you're going to want to be flying around the sides of and hitting with a broadside.
Is that a technical term, broadside?
It certainly is, yeah. It's when you shoot from the side at something.
And here's the Mark A, which is 81 points.
It is 81 points, so it's not cheap. It's not a cheap ship, but it's got 6 hull points. It's fairly resilient. In terms of its maneuverability, it's not bad. I mean, it goes up to speed 3, 1 click at each of those, except for on the first one on when it is at speed 3. It's still fairly decent in terms of maneuverability. We'll have a look at the Assault Frigate 2B now. So the B comes in at 72 points, so it's 9 points cheaper than the A. Now what we're looking at losing to account for those 9 points. First off, it's only got one squadron die instead of 2. But it does gain an extra squadron point. So it's got 3. It can activate 3 squadrons in one go, compared to the 2 from the other frigate. We also lose a blue die on the front and the rear firing arcs. Like I said before, I mean, most of the shooting you're going to be doing from this is going to be out of your sides anyway, and the sides are exactly the same. So personally, I think this is better value than the Mark A. I mean, a lot of the builds that I've been looking at are fairly fighter fighter centric, and so the 3 squadron really appeals to me personally. But yeah, they're gonna sort of fill 2 distinct roles in the game.
And 9 points is, I mean, it's a good amount of points to be saving there, right?
Yeah, it is. But yeah, we've got all the tokens here as well. Your defense icons, your brace, redirect, and an evade as well. So it's fairly flexible in what it can do. So we'll look at some of the upgrade cards that come with this pack. First off, your weapons liaison. We've seen this a few times before already. So before you reveal a command, you may spend 1 command token to change that command to a consolidate fire or squadron command. So increases flexibility there of those pre-stacked orders that you've put on for only 3 points. Now, veteran captain. This is an interesting one. This is the first time we've seen the veteran captain. When you reveal a command, you may discard this card to gain 1 command token of your choice. Now, this is the first time we've actually seen a discard card in Armada. There's quite a few of them in X-Wing. For those of you who are familiar with X-Wing, things like your missiles and your torpedoes, often there are a 1-use only card. Once you've used it, you'll discard it, and that's what the veteran captain is.
For 3 points, I think it's definitely it's a good card.
Yeah, it means you just get to change what your command was. If you've made a terrible mistake in your planning, then
that's fine.
And then you can
sacrifice the captain, and
apparently
he gets force choked, and you move on with the right command.
He had to make one decision, and
he made the wrong one.
Yeah, that's right.
The gunnery team. So this is 7 points. You can attack from the same hull zone more than once per activation. That hull zone cannot target the same ship or squadron more than once during that activation. So again, we're talking about those wide firing arcs on the Assault Frigate, those big amounts of dice. This is a perfect ship to have that upgrade.
It is, yeah. Particularly if you're flying along the side. I mean, just look at the angle of that arc. Yeah. It is quite a wide firing arc on both sides. I mean, personally, I'd more see it flying right up the middle and in between 2 ships, and you can hit both of them on each side, rather than using that. But now we've got the sensor team, which, while attacking, you may exhaust this card and spend 1 die to change one of your dice to a face with an accuracy icon.
Yeah. So again, limiting your opponent's options.
Yeah. Next up, with the electronic countermeasures. When defending, you may exhaust this card to spend 1 defense token that your opponent's targeted with a accuracy result. So if he's, it just sort of opens up your options for your different defenses.
Which is going to keep you alive
longer, which is very important. If you lose one of these things, it's essentially going to be a third of your fleet.
Advanced projectors. These are 6 points. When you resolve the redirect token effect, you can choose more than 1 hull zone to suffer damage, which may include a non-adjacent hull zone. That's great. That allows you to spread that damage around, stop your opponent from consolidating fire in one area.
And this ship has got quite a lot of shields all around its hulls, so it means you're going to be able to spread that fire out and really stay in the field a bit longer. Next up, we've got our point defense reroute or reroute, whichever you prefer. While attacking a squadron at close range, you may re-roll your crit icons. So usually only hit icons do damage, but this means you get a second chance with any crits that you roll as well.
That's great. H9 turbo lasers. We've seen these before. While attacking, you may change 1 die face with a
hit or a crit.
Yeah.
And you can change that to an accuracy. So I'm not too sure about how often that's going to be used, but I mean we'll wait and see, I suppose.
XX9 turbo lasers. So when you get a crit, the first 2 damage cards dealt to the defender by this attack are dealt face up for 5 points. That is awesome.
That's right. Yeah. So if you're hitting a ship that's got no shields left, you're going to be doing a lot of face up damage cards, and those face up damage cards are deadly. Like they can have a massive impact on the game.
We've seen this before. Enhanced armament.
I think we're going to see this played on particularly this type of ship that has that strong broadside. The enhanced armaments just makes that even more powerful. Gives you an extra red die. I think we're going to see that played quite a bit.
And here is the first of the admirals for this pack. Is that right?
That's right. So we've got Garm Bel Iblis. At the start of the first round and the fifth round, each friendly ship may gain a number of command tokens equal to its command value. So what that means is you're really going to be starting off the game really strong with all your ships sort of pumped up with all their tokens that they need.
But also you get a strong finish as well.
Yeah, in the turn.
Armada's only 6 turns. So,
yeah, that's right. So you'll get it in the 5th turn as well.
Provided you're still alive.
Yeah.
Adar Talon.
Yeah, so Adar Talon is an officer upgrade. So after you resolve a squadron command, exhaust this card to toggle the activation slider of one squadron activated with that command. This guy's great, particularly if you've got a fleet with named pilots in it. Or basically what it means is you'll activate the pilot, and then once he's done his thing, you'll slide his toggle back over to not activated. So in the squadron phase, you get to do him again. So things like your Luke Skywalkers, your all of your named pilots. Sorry.
Right, let's jump into the Paragon. This is the first of the title cards for the Assault Frigate. While attacking a ship you have already attacked this round, add 1 black die to your attack pool.
Yeah, so if you're being fairly aggressive with this type of ship, then that extra black die. I mean, like we've seen the black dies do so much damage. So, then the last card we're going to be looking at is the Gallant Haven, which is another title card. Before a friendly squadron at distance 1 suffers damage from an attack, reduce the total damage by 1.
Yeah.
So it's really going to be protecting those fighters that are around the ship. And like I said earlier, a lot of my builds are fairly fighter heavy because I just love them. So that's going to be a fairly helpful card, I think, for those fighters.
Awesome. Well, that should have given you guys a good overview of what you can expect to find in your Assault Frigate expansion pack for Star Wars Armada. If you like the video, obviously subscribe and check us out at the links on your screen now. Thank you.